Hi, it's Andy from Pure Yorkshire Honey. I thought I'd do a quick video just showing sort of what's the basic kit you need to get started. As you can see behind us, we've got a few hives and a few little hives which are classed as nukes. So I'll take you through some of the kit that we've got and some of the kit that you probably need to get started. Right, let's get into the workshop and I'll show you through some of the kit we have. Right, I've gathered up some of our kit and put it about, and I'll just talk you through which bits you will probably need to get started. So first, straight off, we've got the floor with a reduced entrance for winter time, or if you actually want to keep it on all year round, that's not bad too, especially if you know you've got a lot of wasps in your area. Something you don't always get, but it's worth thinking about, is your actual stand. Because if you think about it, when you're inspecting your hive, you don't want to be bending down, especially if you end up with more than one hive. It can actually start getting to your back. So always sort of think ahead how high you want your hive. So you probably want your hive, top of your brood box maybe to mid-thigh height, maybe. That'll probably suit most people. So when you're looking through the frames, you're not bending your back too much. And by the time you get your supers on, you can lift them up without straining as well, because they're at a sensible height, because they can get really heavy. So you can get a floor like this, which is just a normal floor with a reduced entrance with a Varroa mesh on the bottom. You can get ones which are just solid floors, but a lot of the time you see sort of Varroa mesh. So they're the mites that can end up in multiplying in beehives, and they sit on the bees, and sometimes they do drop out and they drop through the mesh floor, so they can't get back up. So after that, you can actually get different floors. So I'll just put that down there. This one is one I bought earlier, and this one's quite nice. I quite like these. They have a little landing board, so again, you just put your reduced entrance in there if you wanted to, and you end up reducing the entrance, but they have somewhere to land and stuff like that, which is quite nice. Again, the mesh floor, again for the Varroa. This floor I bought the other day. You can see the little sticky tab boards there. It was about £31 from our local beekeeping supply. It's a garden centre, and I think it's sort of homemade as well, which is, and to be fair, it's pretty good. I do quite like them. I've got a couple of them, but I must admit, now we're getting more and more. It's something we're thinking of potentially making our own stuff, especially floors, crown boards, and so on and so forth. But I'll talk through that as we get further. So I'll grab the brood box. We're on British standard, which is probably the normal or the most common that you'll see, certainly in sort of hobby beekeeping terms, and even sort of small commercial might do. British standard, but we'll go through some different sort of sizes of hives and stuff like that. So as you can see, just sits on there, on top of the floor, which is on top of the stand or whatever stand you might have. And then to fill that up, you will need some brood frames. So we'll grab one. This is one that's not got any wax in, so you'll need 10/11 of them, depending on the box, depending if you want to run a dummy board and so on and so forth. I'll grab you a dummy board, which is effectively that, which will sit either end of the hive, depending on how you want it. It's just to stop the bees sort of bracing that end frame, if you like, to the actual box itself. So I'll just grab a different size frame, because we do have a 14x12, which is a lot deeper. It's like a brood and a half. So as you can see, that is about that much deeper. So you can get a 14x12 box, which obviously is a little bit deeper. To accommodate this, if you didn't have a 14x12 box and you had some 14x12 frames, you can just put a super on top of here. So it's basically a brood box or a deep box with a super, a shallow box, and that will make up a 14x12. So I've just got some sheets of wax, because obviously your brood frames there all need wax. Bought these the other day, pack of 10, £13.85. Pretty expensive. You can get them cheaper. They are Thorns. I didn't get them from Thorns because if you probably look at Thorns now, they're not that pricey. I think they're a pound or two cheaper. I do tend to get the wire reinforced ones for the brood. It just does help because sometimes they can get really heavy, especially if you start packing in stores near the end of the year. So yeah, it just helps when you're inspecting, so that the frame doesn't actually collapse on itself. So yeah, so after all that, you're going to want a Queen Excluder. So I've got a couple here. This is what we ended up probably starting off with, the wooden ones, nice wooden ones, galvanised sort of wire there. Again, it stops the queen coming up because she's a bit too big, she can't get through here, she stays in the brood box. But the worker bees, they can come up and still work the supers, work the nectar, turn it into honey, cap it off. Drone bees, also the male bees, they can't get up through here because they are quite a big bee. So it just stops the queen coming upstairs and laying into the supers. So I'll just, yeah, so that's a wooden one. So, and we have a plastic one here, which is, it's a little bit more firmer. Obviously this one's been used, but you can see there, £6.75. I'm not too keen on this type. They do sort of warp a little bit once it's been plastic and the bees sort of bridge it to the frames. It gets a little bit fiddly. I mean, when it's on the hive, it's not too bad. But yeah, I'm still undecided about that really. I do tend to like the metal ones just because you can just wang them on. Obviously they don't warp because they're metal. Again, it's probably something that we'll look toward in making. So, so next on top of that, you'll have your supers. So just make sure I get it right way. Well, it shouldn't matter anyway. So you get your supers and you'll have your supers in there, and again they will go with your super frames. And they will go in there. Again, you probably have 10 or 11 in there. And after that you would need a crown board. So again, we've got the wooden ones with the glass in, because I must admit I do like looking in. Especially in winter, you can sort of look in without disturbing the bees too much again, but you can sort of look at the price. 20 quid, so a lot of money. Usually these are just plywood with a hole cut out for the bee porter escape, which is down here. So, and that's just all pop in there, so bees can go through there, but they can't get back because it's quite a thin little strips. So they can pop through, so go down over if you like, but they can't come back up. So it's good, it just stops them coming up into the void. Or if you want to clear supers, so you'll just put your crown board under the supers that you want to take off, the ones that are full, and the bees will sort of go down and through, and then they can't come back up. But then hopefully, in theory, it doesn't always work, so it sort of does work to a point. You don't have many bees in, you probably will find a few, and that's where you'll need something as simple as a brush. Just a bee brush. Brush stuff off. It's just horsehair really. Also, as another option, and it's getting more popular as well, is poly. So poly super, as you can see, that's a good sort of advertising for a bellow. They're not a million miles away from me. They're based at Dunnington near York. This is a super, but they do the full lot. They do like floor, supers, roofs, everything poly, sort of interlocking. I've only got this. I was just a little bit desperate at one point, and I ended up, I was passing the road end, so I called in and had a look. So that's always an option. Obviously, It's an oil-based product, so at the minute oil is quite expensive, and then after that you sort of need your roofs. So I won't try and put it on one-handed. I'll do a separate shot with the roof on, and that's effectively that's your hive, pretty much. So you got your stand, your floor, your reduced entrance, your brood box, your Queen Excluder, your supers, and then your crown board, beep or escape, and then your roof, which is just there, but I'll pop that. I mean, you can get gable roofs, you can get flat roofs. I've just got the normal 4-inch roof. And that pretty much to keep bees dry, if you like, that's what you need. Obviously you need some sort of protective kit, so you need your suit, and a hive tool. Hive tool is very useful. It's pretty much, hive tool is very useful. It's pretty much all what you need. So you sort of always have this. It just sort of help you crack off any bits where the bees have gone in and glued everything together with propolis. So you just sort of go in or go across and sort of crack everything off, because you do find it is well stuck together. If you've got a strong hive, then they tend to work really well, propolising everything together and bridging everything with wax. So yeah, hive tool is very much a must. Bee suit. Smoker. Yeah, I don't often use a smoker, so that's ours. Just again, thorns. Just come with that. I put dry grass in, to be fair, and then stuff a load of wet grass in on top of it just to make the smoke and baffle it down a bit. You don't want it burning too quickly, because you will end up blowing flames out the end of your smoker and frying your bees. Yeah, I've seen it happen, so just be careful with that. So I'll take a few more, I'll build it up with the roof on and everything, and I'll show you a shot with it with the roof on and all built up. So there you go, that's with the roof on. So again, stand, floor, reduced entrance, brood box, Queen Excluder, super, crown boards on top of that, and you still have your crown board on with your roof on, because if you don't have that on, they'll end up making lots of nice wild comb in your roof, and you won't know until you go into their nets, especially if you forget to put it on before winter. Yeah, it'll be a bit of sport in spring when you come around to it. So prices. Everything's constantly changing at the minute. It's 1st of May 2022, so we all know prices for materials, especially wood, oil-based products like poly as well. It's all getting quite expensive. So like I said earlier, I got this the other day, that was 31 quid. I did see some brood bots at the same time. They were seconds, so not first cut, if you like, second cut. Flat pack supers were about 28 quid. First cut ones were 50 quid. It's a lot of money. Queen Excluder, a decent Queen, well, I say decent Queen Excluder, the wooden Queen Excluder with like the stainless steel wire, that'll be about 20 quid. Supers, they're probably going to be about 30 quid. That glass crown board, that's 20 quid, I think, from we saw on the tag. Roofs, these could be 40, 50, 60 quid, depending on what you want to pay. If you want a gable roof, yeah, I've seen them at 80 quid, you know, built up. They're a lot of money. If you're quite handy building stuff up, they're not hard to build. Again, if you want to see a video of me building a couple of boxes, I've got some super boxes or British standard shallow boxes to build up. Yeah, I can do a quick video and show you how to build up your frames and boxes and bits and pieces. So, but yeah, if you can get it flat pack, it is a bit cheaper. But if you get it all built up, then yeah, it is quite expensive. So, and plus you still got to buy the bees, and bees can be anywhere between 120 quid to 300 quid. You know, it's a lot of money even for the bees, and you'll get them in a nuke, which I have got one just the side to me, so I'll just drag that out and show you what a nuke looks like. So this is a nuke I bought just this last week, because I'm going to end up needing quite a few nukes this year, because I'm going to be splitting some colonies down and making some overwintered nukes, which is a completely different topic, but it's something that we want to do anyway. So yeah, so this is a nuke. This is generally what your bees will come in, a 6-frame nuke. So just poly. Comes with, I like these ones, these are BS honey ones, they're really nice. Comes with your feeder, so you can put wet feed in there, and the bees will come up through there and take it out of there. You can put fondant on by taking your bung out, and then that's effectively brood. With these BS honey ones, you've got an entrance front and back, if you can see, so you can split it in 2 colonies, or you can just shut one of these entrances off by turning the disc round, and you can shut it off completely and have effectively 1 colony. Take the divider out and have your 6 frames in. So yeah, that's generally what it comes in. If you're buying bees and you end up with the nuke box, you can get them a bit cheaper. They can come in Corex boxes. I've not seen them firsthand, but effectively they're about 12 or 15 quid, where this is about 58 quid when I got that this week. So these, I got 2 of these a couple of years back and they were like 35 quid. So yeah, they've gone up a hell of a lot. But that is the climate we're living in. But yeah, brilliant bit of kit to have, actually, to be fair. And if I was going to say anything to any newbie, if you've got 1 hive, you need enough kit for 2 hives, because at some point they're going to want to swarm and you need to put them somewhere. So yeah, the more kit you can get, the better. But again, it's how big you want to go. If you're quite happy letting your bees swarm, depends where you live. If you've got neighbours, they might not be too happy. We're quite lucky here. We're on a farm, so I've got some plans to get ours down towards the beck, because we've got loads of Himalayan balsam. So yeah, going to really take advantage of our land this year. So yeah, it's a quick overview. Like I say, for all that and some bees, you could be paying easily getting into 500-600 quid. Again, depends on the quality that you want. It depends if you want to go poly, depends if you want to go wood. Yeah, there's lots of variables, but it gives you a rough idea of what you need. Obviously, suit, hive tool, brush if you want one. Yeah, there's a few more bits and pieces to it, but the basic kit I think we've pretty much covered. If I haven't, just drop a comment below and I'll answer it. Any questions, just let me know. So I think this video's gone on for long enough. So any questions, just drop them in the comments below. Right, I've just come out of the workshop. Thought I'd do our closing comments just outside in front of the hives. It's just starting to get flying. Like I said, we had some good rain last night, which is good. One thing I didn't mention is honey extraction equipment, hand spinners and stuff like that. If you've got one in the hive, you don't have to spend a fortune, but again, it's another topic, but potentially it is something that you will need to buy at some point. Depends how seriously you want to take beekeeping, how many hives you want, and so on and so forth. But I'm not going to go on too much longer, because I feel like I've gone on and on and on. Hopefully it's been easy to watch. Like I say, any questions, drop them in the comments below. Please like it. It's a new channel. We need to build up you guys. We need to make sure we're making good content. So please like it, comment, and share it. But we really appreciate you watching. Thanks again. Cheers.